Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to an Inspired live stream. Inspired Tribe, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to start this with we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. This is not an observation of reality. This is a mantra. It's a affirmation. Very, very important. And I know so many of you are saying this to yourself every day. And guess what? It has tremendous power. So did I not tell you that we're going to see some chaos in July? Sound of Freedom is the #1 movie in the nation for the first time. It's not a major Hollywood production, but for the first time in history, a movie about the most horrific crimes against children is the #1 movie in the nation, is outperforming the Hollywood blockbusters, and is moving people in a grassroots way, which is exactly what this movie is. It's a grassroots rise to fame story. But it isn't about fame, of course. It's about awareness. It's about the children, and it's about the beginning of the end of this crime. Now, what is happening? Exactly what we predicted. And I see so many comments underneath our videos. Mel Gibson is this. Jim Caviezel is this. Did you know Carla Slim was involved? Did you know this was involved? Did you know this about Tim Ballard? Tim Ballard wants to microchip your children. Mark of the beast, 666. It's happening. It's all fake. The cabal got you, and this is a psyop. You know what they're not talking about? Most of the people about the actual subject. Congratulations if you're talking about all these things, but not about the children, not about the trafficking, not about these crimes, not about the organized way, not about how and what and where and when this is happening in your community. You have been psyoped successfully by those who seek to distract you from the real subject at hand, which is all that this movie speaks about. So does Tim Ballard want to microchip your children? Because we've been seeing these posts everywhere. You can see a picture of Tim Ballard. You can see a quote, and it says clearly that is his solution, that he says this should be done. Horrific. I would never do that. We would never recommend that. We all know what that means. But let's hear from Tim Ballard himself.
Never cease to amaze me how far the godless leftist media will go to run interference for human traffickers. They're throwing everything at me right now. I just saw a post that seems to be trending in certain places saying that I am in favor of putting microchips in children so we can track them. It's complete baloney. I've never weighed in on that. I've never said anything. In fact, I'm very much against anything that would allow the government or others to control children. I just found out yesterday that I'm also apparently involved in trafficking. I run trafficking networks, or that I'm some Mason involved in strange Masonic practices. It's not going to stop. Expect every lie. At this point, I have been accused of everything but murder. So I want you just to expect more to come, including probably that I've killed people. Who knows?
Okay, so this was Tim Ballard himself weighing in on the subject of microchipping. So this is the first time you heard him talk about this, because he's never talked about it before, which debunks all the other posts. Now, can I put my hand, can I say with absolute certainty Tim Ballard is a great guy? He's the white knight on a horse? No, I can't say that, because I've never met the guy. I haven't worked with him. What I can say is that so far, every rabbit hole I've climbed down, I've come to the conclusion there is absolutely no evidence that he is anything else than he says he is. That's it. That's all I can say. What I will say is this is not about Tim Ballard. It's not about the organization that he left, by the way. It is only about the children, and everything else is the psyop. Because nobody says go and give $100,000 to our. We've never said this. We've never said this is the solution. We are the solution, friends. This is the cultural moment that we needed around this subject. Does this movie go deep enough? No. Does it tell the whole story? No. Does it name names that we would know? No. Does it go into the high ranks of politics and the elites? No. But you know what I can tell you? I can tell you that if they had done that, that movie would have never been in theaters. You know whom it would have never reached? Any of the masses out there that are not on your truth news websites, that are not listening to what we're saying or so many others are saying. They would have just never seen anything about it. So now they have a starting point, they have a springboard, and we need this cultural moment. So stop whining like little girls and posting comments and lying, because when you are reposting lies, you are lying, and it with an extension. So please focus on the subject at hand. We can't get that easily manipulated. We need to keep this movie for now at the center of the attention when it comes to entertainment. We still haven't even closely come to reach the potential that we could reach with it. And it's number one. And it has been probably seen by 7 million people by now, or 8 maybe. And it will be seen by hundreds of millions by the time that it will kind of start to ebb off. But for now, this is the cultural moment, and this is what is asked of you. Nothing more. Buy a ticket or go watch it, give a ticket to someone, share, talk about it, text about it. Make this the centerpiece of the conversation, because you have to ask certain questions when you talk about this subject. How come this is happening in the world on such a large scale? Who are the perpetrators? Who are those who are seeking the demand? Who are the people that are exploiting, abusing, and killing children? Who are the people who are paying big money to do that? Who are the people producing the film, the pornographic material that's out there? I believe, 22 million pictures and videos a year, and that's a conservative estimate. That's insanity. So we can't have these conversations if we don't have a cultural moment of awareness. So stop pushing the lies and stop discrediting people where you don't have any facts. You're just maybe repeating what you saw somewhere on someone's post. Listen, this is not research. This is not discernment. And again, it's about the children. The children. That is the main focus point. That needs to be the focal point. The children. And of course, by focusing on the children, we focus on a larger picture and we figure out all the other things in detail, and we can start eradicating this. And this is a comprehensive picture. This is not just locking people up. This is understanding trauma, multi-generational trauma, systemic and programmed trauma. This is understanding systemic abuse of a child's psyche in its formative years. So this trauma will be perpetuated through generations. This is a program that is running to subdue the human family. It's much bigger than what meets the eye. But we can't start talking about the bigger picture if we can't actually bring this cultural moment about without constant distractions and interference. And yes, this movie is the vehicle right now. This movie is the vehicle right now. Just like hate him or love him, it doesn't really matter. Trump has been the vehicle for so many things. It doesn't matter how you feel about him. So many things have entered the mainstream awareness because of Trump talking about them, tweeting about them, or whatever. You could hate him all day long. You still have to acknowledge that the vehicles that are used aren't always perfect. The vehicles that are used aren't always flawless. They aren't always saints, and they aren't always, just surrounded by a glowing light. By the way, neither am I, or are we. We never claim to be perfect and never claim to have it all right, never claim to be absolutely zen every day and in balance every day. No, we never claim to be. We're imperfect vessels, but absolutely dedicated to bringing forth important messages, teachings, inspirations, so the human family can make together the next leap, the next consciousness leap, the next quantum leap to a different, a more harmonious, a more peaceful way of life that we know is possible. This is about the children. Stop making it about everything else, please. Now go share this, talk to people about this, text this to your friends and family. And if anybody is criticizing the subject matter, if like the Rolling Stone magazine, like CNN, like these complete morons complete morons that go on the air and say, hey, you know, moral panic. That's the new buzzword around this movie. It's moral panic. What the hell does moral panic even mean? You are not outraged. You are not disgusted. You are not deeply saddened by the fact that God knows millions of children are in a state of sex slavery all over the world. That doesn't disgust you. That isn't morally absolutely outrageous to you. Well, then you don't even deserve to be heard and read by and listened to by anybody, because you're just a complete psychopath moron. Okay, so off the rant, back to subject, the children. That's it. Tim Ballard, in his own words, does not want to microchip children. He thinks it's a horrible idea. He said it. We played the video. You can replay it. Stop the cap. Let's go. And let's do what needs to be done. There are children all over the world waiting for us to wake up and do what needs to be done. Thank you so much. Much love to you all. Many blessings. We'll be back very, very soon.